I'm mad today. Little backtrack. When I bought this house, I got $30,000 taken off of it because the roof wasn't great. So now, not that long after I bought it, roof leaking, drops on the floor, fucking slipping over. We're gonna have a drink about it because like I'm not happy. I don't know what else to do besides fix it, but that's not what we're doing right now. We're not fixing it right now. We're having a drink. Ooh, okay, cracking some new liquor. It's vodka. Look, we are on a skinny mission. Okay, I don't know where my soda water is. We're having a vodka coconut water. Why not? Let's see. Like, why not? Electrolytes, hydrate, while we're relaxing. We're relaxing. I'm scared to drink this. I'll pour you one. This is yours. This is for you. Cheers. You gotta drink with me.
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
You know, it's pretty interesting to watch these strong and independent boss bay Yas queens buy houses and act like they won at life, only to turn around and rely on their liquor dependency to ignore the fact that houses need regular maintenance in order to remain structurally sound. Now, I get it, you're a modern woman, so your natural-born allergies to responsibility and sobriety are so strong that the mere idea of having to do anything to maintain that house that you own fills you with so much anger that the only cure is to complain about it online while drinking vodka. That's not relaxing. That's escapism. Much like how every single one of your boyfriends needed to tunnel their way out of your house just to escape your idiocy. Which reminds me, have you checked your house for escape tunnels? Yeah, you might want to pour yourself a drink and check that one out.
When I'm in other countries, I like to play this game called Americans Could Never. I just walked past a pub in London and there was this very handsome gentleman just sitting in the window with his pint, reading a book. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, but the men at home could never.
You don't mess around with God's America.
Alright, I'm kind of confused here. Is this cultural commentary about the declining literacy rates of Americans, or is this making fun of American men for not reading books in bars? I mean, you do realize that the only time a guy can enjoy a nice cold one while reading a book is if the bar is dead during daylight hours, right? If a guy goes to a bar at night and tries to read a book, the shrieking from the drunk chicks getting rejected by Chad is so loud that it kind of ruins the literary experience for most men. Besides, even if you did see a dude at a bar in America reading a book, it's just gonna go on your ick list, because it's only attractive if the dude is handsome and foreign. So yeah, nice try, sister. Leave God's America out of this.
A girl is not gonna approach you at the bar. I'm sorry.
No.
That just completely changes the narrative, because if I'm approaching you now, I wear the pants. Like, I'm just gonna feel like I'm the one that started this.
I care more.
In those relationships,
Don't
never work.
He has to love you more. He has to like you more.
to.
He has to care about you more. When women approach these men, I feel like the conversation is just flat.
Because they're thrown off.
Yeah, sometimes they're just kind of silent. You also add to the conversation.
Yeah.
I can only do so much like attempting.
It puts them in like their feminine energy.
I'm just kind of like icked out by you now. And then you just stand there. He's no longer attractive because I did the work.
Hell no, a rule is a rule is a rule unless you're a woman.
Hey, wait a second. The proud members of the illustrious Bottom 95% Club were told, if not ordered, to never approach you. And now you're telling us that the only way you'll talk to us is if we maintain your fantasy by enabling your laziness and disobeying your direct orders. I thought that was creepy and rude. Besides, why should the guy bother? You literally just told him that you're not going to like him as much as he likes you. How is that supposed to make the poor dude feel? He's supposed to talk to a woman who's already made it clear that she's not going to like him. And how is that working out for you, by the way? I see that you don't have boyfriends, because if you did, you'd be swearing that this strategy worked. Well, I'm sure you just haven't met the right bar yet, so keep it up, sisters. I'm sure you'll be saying the exact same thing at the age of 30 after your livers are successfully pickled.
Wine was invented by the Romans for orgies. And orgies are not too much fun if no one wants to do with you.
This is an actual conversation I had with a guy last night who watched me play darts for 20 minutes and never said anything to me. This is him. Hey, I'm leaving, but I thought you were really cute and I thought we could talk sometime, so can I get your number? Oh yeah, I smiled back at you 20 minutes ago, but you haven't said anything and you're just now coming to tell me that you're leaving? We could have talked. for the last 20 minutes. Well, yeah, I want to talk, so I should get your number. It's just that it's not clicking for me why you didn't talk to me then, but now you just want my number to talk. It's the point where I turn and I throw my darts and I count up my score and I go get them and I turn around and I'm like, wow, he's still there. So is that a no? This is the part where I try to give him what he wanted to figure out if he really wanted it. Well, it is great meeting you. My name's Angie. What's yours? It's Seth. My friends and I are leaving. Bro, so you're telling me you can't have a conversation, you're incapable, but also then I saw him at the next bar like 20 minutes later. I smiled at him. Seth didn't get my number.
Lady, the reason why I didn't talk to you was because you were in the middle of a game of darts, and I don't know if you know this, but most of us find it improper conduct to interrupt anybody when they're in the middle of a game. Just ask anybody who's ever been bothered when they're trying to play pool, shuffleboard, or the aforementioned game of dukes. They'll tell you it's frustrating and kind of rude. That's why he was waiting for you to be done, and when he was about to leave and you were still playing, he broke decorum to talk to you, and your response was to get combative, which just proves our point. And I'm gonna let you in on a little secret there, sweet cheeks. Men don't like women who act like that. That's why when he saw you at the next bar, he didn't say anything because you're not a nice person. And that man has enough self-respect to not subject himself to that much disrespect. So he wasn't interested in you anymore. But hey, I guess it's not your fault. You did smile at him for 2 seconds, so I guess that just makes you an innocent victim of your own stupidity.
You blew it. Capiche?
So mad right now. So I've seen this client one other time before.
That's why I praise the Lord for prostitutes.
And he insists that he knows me and we had sexual relations years and years ago after meeting him at the bar. How many times I hear that, and I mean, I don't have that great of a memory, but I'm sorry, I've never seen him before in my life, but whatever, let him go with it. And so he asked me earlier in the week, he's like, can this become a weekly thing? He's like, whatever. I'm like, yeah. And he gave me 2 options, Monday night or Thursday night. Of the 2 nights is available. I said, either night works for me. Thursday's good. So he texts me. I mean, we are really cool. He texts me once in a while. I think he started to like me at one point after the first time because we hung out again and didn't do anything. That's my mistake. But so he's been texting me all day. Like, first it was supposed to be at 9 o'clock, which fine. He was running late. I do it all the time. I don't care. Then it was 10 o'clock, which he still wasn't going to be ready by 10 o'clock. But that's fine. I'm a night person.
Fascinating.
You know what, lady? You're not only a professional avenue stroller, but you're also an avenue stroller who lacks any form of professionalism. I mean, there was a time when women of this certain profession had enough sense to not publicly complain about their scheduling woes to the entire planet. It was a private matter that only needed to be discussed privately, even if it needed to be discussed at all. But now, thanks to the freaking internet, we now have a slew of avenue strollers who are too busy complaining about the quality of their clientele. But here's the weird thing. Let's say you got a plumber who gets frustrated with a client who pulls this. Except we're talking about laying literal pipes here, not getting your back blown out. That man will take a huge hit to his business because complaining about customers publicly like that isn't exactly the definition of professionalism. But because you make your living on your back, you think that entitles you to some form of sympathy. Hate to break it to you, sister, but it really doesn't.
Then he says 11 o'clock, and then almost 11 comes, and he's like, well, I have to do some work. Can I make it 12:30, 12:45? I'm like, that's fine. I knew this was going to happen. He just texted me and said, I'm getting ready to walk out my door, but my paycheck hasn't hit my bank account yet. And I fear I won't have money until Monday when I get a hard check. He's like, I don't want to ruin your night, so, I mean, I'm good for the money on Monday. Good for the money on Monday. Tell the hotel that, or tell my landlord that, or tell all of my bills that and see what they say. I planned tonight to see him and not anybody else, and now I'm fucking pissed. Not only because I did not see anybody else, but because it's 12 after 12 and I'm getting ready for work. This is why I take deposits from somebody.
That's not my problem. It's yours.
Tell your landlord what exactly? That you don't have a reliable stream of income thanks to your job as an avenue stroller? I mean, I guess I could do that, but there's really no point. You post these exploits up on TikTok, so I'm pretty sure the guy's going to find out eventually. But that part of the conversation would probably be the least awkward. I'd first have to track the landlord down, explain who I am, how I got here, and then tell him that you told me to tell him that your rent isn't going to be paid because some dude was trying to get a freebie off you. That would just make me uncomfortable. Well, that and I just don't have the time to do that. Unlike you, I actually have a job that's fairly steady just so long as I go after intergalactic space shoplifters and not overpowered crime lords. Yeah, it may not be a glamorous line of work, but at least I still got my dignity, which I can't say for you, sweetheart. So since you ain't got no money, take your broke ass to your apartment and flee in the cover of darkness to escape eviction, and I'll thank the fine members of the bounty board over on Patreon. A fine group of fine professional people who practice professionalism in every single thing that they do in life, and for that, I salute you. All hail! If you're interested in supporting the channel, check out the bounty board over on Patreon, where $5 a month gets you access to exclusive content you're not going to find on YouTube.
I am so up. I was just watching this podcast. There's these three guys, a Charlie Kirk show or something. I've never seen it in my life. It just popped up on my For You page. And they're talking about women wanting to be taken care of, provided for financially. And the guy that's interviewing, the two guys are interviewing this one guy. And one of the two guys is like, I actually split the check quite often. They get into this topic of like splitting the check, right? Of a woman paying for her food on a first date or a date, just in general. And not having to, okay? Because women don't want to. We don't want to pay for our own shit. It doesn't matter if we know that we can or if we make our own money. We don't want to. That's just who we are. And this guy is like, well, I mean, I split the check quite often. Like first dates, he's like, well, you don't even know like if it's going to be a thing. So we split the check. He's like, I thought it was a good financial decision.
It is!
Okay, why is it okay for you to not want to pay for food, but it's not okay for the dude to not want to? I mean, let's go ahead and think about this for a second. You're under no obligation to give this man any form of affection just because he bought you dinner. I mean, that's been established, but that man is under no obligation to feed you if it turns out that you're not interested in him. He's not going to pay for the privilege of watching you eat and then dashing on him. That's why splitting the check is the human pair bonding equivalent of mutually assured destruction. It's a deterrent to keep you in line to let you know that you're not getting a free meal off this guy's dime. It's also a great litmus test to see if you actually enjoy this company or if you're just in it for the free stuff. Because it's only the most insufferable of modern women who believe that they shouldn't have to pay for a thing. And men are kind of wise to that. The free rides on the gravy train are over, sister. We're not paying for a woman who's gonna disrespect us like that. It's just who we are.
This other guy is like, bro, that absolutely. He's like, that's so humiliating. As a beta male, that is so humiliating to split the check with a woman on any amount of time, right? If you are going on a first date, you pay for it. Second date, you pay for it. Third date, you pay for it. Marriage, you pay for her entire freaking life. That is beta male shit. And he said to this guy, he said, the money you're saving on this date is costing you. He said the money you save is not worth the honor you're compromising. Women have to do a lot of shit. One of them being carry and bearing babies. The least you could do is pay for her meals.
No.
Ah, the baby argument. The classic rant that a modern woman will use when she knows she's wrong and everything she's saying doesn't make a lick of sense. Primarily because you don't use your baby maker. And if you're not using your baby maker, then that guy doesn't have to pay for crap. And I understand that you're a modern woman, so you have the intellect of your typical preschooler, but you do realize that in order to make a baby, you need a man's seed for that to happen. And to make men entertain the idea of impregnating you, you shouldn't be leading with the idea that you don't want to pay for your own food, so therefore you shouldn't have to. That's kind of a turnoff. And men have to put up with a lot of crap these days. They're expected to plan everything, look impossibly good, lead a conversation with a brick wall, be constantly judged on literally every single thing he does. Oh yeah, not to mention being relentlessly mocked by an entire population of entitled modern women. So if that guy's going to cover your half of the dinner bill, then the least you can do is pretend to be pleasant.
They know. They just don't care.
Anytime you see a man using the word hypergamy on the internet, you know he's already been indoctrinated into the manosphere, specifically because you don't seem to know what this word actually means, and you've commented on a video about female natural selection, and we know that hypergamy appears most dominantly in patriarchal societies. Hypergamy refers to the idea of marrying up, that is, seeking a partner who has higher socioeconomic status, higher intellect, general higher desirability. And from a sociological perspective, females in patriarchal societies are more encouraged to marry up than in egalitarian societies. So if you don't want women to participate in hypergamy, then what you want is to live in an egalitarian society, meaning you're a feminist. Because historically speaking, hypergamy is shaped by limited access to income, resources, housing, all the things which patriarchy takes away from women. So my dear sweet troglodyte, if you don't want women to participate in hypergamy, you're gonna wanna be a feminist.
What?
Allow me to debunk that malarkey right now, sweetheart. Let's say for the sake of argument, you got two men in front of you. Now, both of these men were injected with an inhuman amount of muscle relaxants and snake venom, so they're both interested in seeking something long-term with you. You have a physically weak guy wearing average clothing, he's got messy hair, and he's done a concerning amount of work to fight the patriarchy. Next to him is Chad. He's got money, wearing a custom Italian suit, he's got a nice watch, a great body, and a really sweet-looking haircut. He tells you to shut your feminist mouth and to go make him a sandwich. You'll be looking at that guy, playing with your hair, and asking him where he keeps the mayo and if he's willing to share that with you. Trust me, sister, you don't want to live in an egalitarian system. Have you seen women who demand equal partnerships? They're some of the most angry and resentful women on the face of the planet. You just don't want to admit that you want a man to take care of you. But that's never going to happen because no man wants to deal with a hypocritical feminist or a feminist at all now that I think about it.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Girl posted a video talking about how the only successful straight relationships that she's ever seen is where the guy is this like really stable, grounded, like kind person, and the girl is just like a little bit crazy. Like she's just a little emotional roller coaster. That is so true because that is the embodiment of the masculine and feminine energies. Like the masculine is supposed to contain is not the greatest word, but basically just, you know, hold space for the waves, the roller coaster of the female emotions. We are supposed to be really emotional creatures, and the masculine energy, in his divine masculine energy, is supposed to be able to ground that and hold space for that and allow her to just feel whatever she's feeling without judgment and make her feel safe in that process.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Okay, so if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying that the man must not only be in control of his emotions at all time, but he also must allow his woman to be as emotionally unstable as she wants, and he's just gotta ride out the roller coaster? Why? That goes against what a man truly desires, and that is peace. What's wrong with you having to control your emotions anyway? I mean, we've seen what happens when your kind goes flying off the handle, and it's not a pretty sight. I mean, just take a look at how many times you used your period privilege as an excuse to be mean to everybody around you. Hell, it's practically come to the point where a guy needs to be wearing a Kevlar flak jacket anytime you're hungry, and you just expect that man to make an environment that supports that kind of behavior? Yeah, that's not happening, darling. They're your emotions, so be an adult and learn to control them like the rest of us. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, and be sure to share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you once again for checking out the new video, gentlemen and gents, and until next time, peace out, homies.